everybody? Welcome back to another episode of Six Man Blitz, the podcast that gives you exactly what you need. Exactly. Sports content, entertainment. We talk a little about, hip hop culture, whatever's going on in the world. We'll give you our thoughts on it. But what other better thing to talk about? We're Bears fans. Caleb Williams. Apparently, rumors and reports are saying that he wants ownership of whatever team is drafting him. And let's go out and make sure it's clear. That shit is fake as hell. That shit is not true. Zach, no, not Zach
so
Wilson.
Passionate about it?
It's not true. I'm
not, it's hurting his draft stock or some shit.
I'm not on the Caleb Williams train. I think he's a great player. I'm more of stick with Justin Fields kind of guy.
Still.
Yes, still. I know it's hard. There's probably not a lot of other ones like me. But no. Aaron Rodgers already tried to do this shit with the Jets. He already tried to do this. He already tried to get ownership. Due to our, reliable sources, we've had some people come on the podcast. Shout out, Zach Pearson. He already debunked this report. So Aaron Rodgers already tried this. Caleb Williams is not doing this. This is not true. So all these people that are already doing videos on it, I'm sorry, delete your content immediately. Delete it now. It's still time. You still got time. It's still up. What are your thoughts on that, though, if that was actually to happen, though?
If what was actually to happen?
Caleb Williams to actually ask that out of GMs and organizations.
It would be kind of out of left field just because it's like, what are you garnering that a quarterback in the past hasn't? You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. Obviously, he's highly touted, but to do something like that would change the fabric of the NFL, which we know good and darn well the owners ain't interested in. So that wouldn't make sense.
And Patrick Mahomes ain't even getting that kind of treatment. That's somebody I would be like, all right, you can have ownership.
Equity. Ain't no like what he does for Kansas City is much like what LeBron did for Cleveland. I'm sure the economic infrastructure of Kansas City, bars, the nightlife, everything is going well because the Chiefs are going well. People are coming in 8 to 11 times a year just to come see the Kansas City Chiefs play. So
it's crazy.
You got to take real account of what even look at what Deion Sanders doing in Colorado.
But no effect of, Deion Sanders or Patrick Mahomes. They're not bringing in the same kind of people Taylor Swift is. But that's another conversation, another debate for another conversation. But, we already talked about this big topic, Caleb Williams. We're going to get in some Bears content. We're going to get in a lot of NFL talk in this episode. So are you ready?
Let's get it.
All right, let's get it. So which one would you rather have? George McCaskey and the McCaskey family or Jerry Jones?
Jerry Jones.
Easy.
And McCaskey's clearly are poor leaders. Because there's been a lot of turnover everywhere but there.
Mm-hmm.
So, there's 32 teams. Can't everybody be a great owner? Just because you had success to get the money or you inherited the team or it was passed on to you don't mean the successes as well.
Mm-hmm.
And, we seeing that with both teams, honestly. I mean, Jerry Jones clearly has his way of doing things, and I don't know if he's ever evolved from it after winning the Super Bowls, going on that Super Bowl run. So it's been a drought for both, but at least they get a taste
of a taste of some kind of victory, getting past.
We ass.
Yeah, very ass. But I would probably take Jerry over the McCaskies too. But it's a little, two evils, which one you would rather have. But just looking at just the McCaskies and just always doing the wrong thing with some of their decisions, the coaches they hire, it's just the organization aura is just so terrible. I would take Jerry Jones too. I need some Jerry in my life.
Sure.
I won't go too far on that or elaborate on that one. But so looking at this Cowboys victory, Dak, stepping up and making some of the plays in this game to win this game for him. And they were celebrating too at the end of the game. They acted like they won the Super Bowl.
Hey, sure, you got to celebrate when you get that much criticism.
For sure. You knew you couldn't lose that game. But does this victory against the Chargers give you some, restore your faith in this Cowboys team to go far or
No.
no?
Reason being is just the way they won.
Yeah.
It was a very low scoring game.
It could have went either way.
And the Chargers, I'm not super sold on.
No, I am either.
And Dak did play well at times, but I think when we're comparing them to anybody, it's going to be the top of the NFC.
Mm-hmm.
And look at what Detroit is looking like. Look at what
the Eagles,
the
49ers,
you could tell the Eagles maybe are not as dominant as last year, I should say. Last year was just ridiculous. They was blowing everybody out.
It was easy.
So they're not that. So I feel like the Cowboys might have a real shot at the NFC East. But with that being said, they're not better than the Niners. That's for damn sure. And then, Detroit is a shoot. You never know. I guess that whoever is at home, I think I would tip my cap to.
Okay.
But I feel like Detroit will find a way to fuck up.
Yeah. Just that.
As much as I believe in Dan Campbell and everything.
Yeah.
Jared Goff too. You know what I'm saying?
It's just in their blood.
Right.
Because they never, they've had some really good teams with Matthew Stafford, Megatron. They had that one, Jim Caldwell was a pretty good coach.
Very good.
But
they let him go on some dumb shit.
That was somebody I wanted, low-key, if we're going to go an old head, for real. The Bears get him, I wouldn't have been blew by that.
For real.
But now, and his offensive-minded coach, too. So I really like Detroit, too. So I think Cowboys, they're always going to be behind the three top teams in the NFC.
For sure.
So at best, they're the fourth best team in the NFC right now. There are some teams, Seattle could get them, too. Seattle, there are some teams at the end. I think Seattle could get them, man.
Nah.
I think, especially not having Diggs in the back end, Seattle, if they make some moves at the deadline, they go out and get a pass rusher to add some more, because secondary-wise, they locking shit. Witherspoon, he's really fucking good.
Yes.
And then, Tariq Woolen, you have, some other guys on Jamal Adams. He's finally back from his 7th injury. So he's back. Yeah. So all right. There are some teams where I could see getting past the Cowboys and it being a tough day for them. The Bucks too. Bucks give the Cowboys work.
I don't think the Bucks can, just because I felt like that was a game they should have been more competitive in.
Yeah.
Detroit just handled their ass. Yeah. Handled their ass.
And Montgomery got hurt in that game too.
Yeah.
So they still clapped.
So yeah, I'm not a Bucks believer. I think they'll win their division and be a first round exit. But Detroit is just bullying people.
It's crazy.
I'd tip my cap to them over Cowboys at this point.
And I was like one of those haters with Detroit. I'm like, all right, these motherfuckers getting so much praise already.
Yeah.
The Chiefs, they playing the Chiefs opening night and they won. No Kelsey, no
they don't win
Chris Jones.
If Kelsey plays, and they damn sure don't win if Chris Jones
plays. But they play Baltimore this week. Who we got in that one? That's going to be a good game.
Man, I think it's going to be who can execute in the red zone, because you look at what Baltimore did last weekend. Mm-hmm. They could not punch it in.
No, yeah. And just really having
hella field goals.
I'm really confused, too. They have, coming into the year, I'm like, Odell Beckham Jr., Rashad Bateman. They got all these weapons. But it's really only been Mark Andrews and Zay Flowers that have been doing shit for them at the receiver position and at the skill position. They have a lot of weapons and stuff. Lamar has been really fucking good, too.
Yes.
Lamar has been really good.
Accurate. He's my favorite player to watch outside of Patrick Mahomes.
Yeah, he's been really good with that, that area. And so I'm hoping this offense continues to get better. We'll talk about something that can make them even more better than they are right now later in the show. But 49ers and the Eagles, both teams lost. Which team do you think can bounce back the best? Come and get back to dominant fashion?
That's a tough one. So when you're looking at the Eagles, I would like to see their schedule. Who does the Eagles play this
Miami this week. We're going to preview that game. Don't worry. Sunday night football, too.
That's right. I did.
That's one of the best primetime games that I've seen on the schedule.
Oh, no question. Is it Miami?
I don't know if it's in Miami or Philly, but that's a toss up, bro.
Man,
Two goods against goods.
we gonna see what Miami really like.
Oh yeah, because when they played Buffalo, they got clapped.
They got clapped. If they get clapped again, why am I using your lingo?
They're gonna get clapped and glazed.
Nah, I can't even follow.
No, I don't think they'll get clapped. All right, I think it will be a really fucking good game. I think this will be both teams. The Eagles are second in offense, and the Dolphins are first in every category when it comes to offense, rushing, passing, all that. This Miami Dolphins team has an improved defense too. Bradley Chubb, their guys are getting after the quarterback at a better rate. So I think in this game, it's going to be an offensive battle though. I think it's going to be high scoring. I think this might be like that Rams Chiefs game. I think we'll get that kind of game. Maybe not to that magnitude. They scored a lot in that game, but I think it's gonna be high scoring as shit.
Yeah, I can see that, and they're gonna. Both teams are gonna want to hit home runs, so I can see that as well.
Baltimore against Detroit and Miami versus Philly are two really fucking good games. Two of the top teams, four of the top teams in their respected conferences and divisions. So this is going to be a really good week of football. It's going to be a stinker though, Bears Raiders. But Jalen Hurts, him having 7 interceptions, is that a concern for you? How he started the year?
It is, because it definitely seems like there's a difference between last year and this year. A lot of factors to consider. Obviously, the new OC. Teams have 17 games. Teams got 17 games of game film to look over. Like this great offense that they had is no longer new. So teams adjust quickly. And it's on Jalen Hurts to continue to improve as a passer.
I'm concerned.
A lot of those passes he was completing last year were very RPO, dink and dunk. Mm-hmm. He throws a long ball, and teams had to commit to the run. So I think they just got to get back to running the ball very well, and then the pass will follow. I think they're getting too much.
Too cute with it.
Yeah. So that would be what I'm interested to see. So that's something to look at throughout the course of the year and see what happens.
Mm-hmm. I really like their run game too. I mean, you've seen games where they're like, all right, the pass game, we're not doing shit with it this day, so let's just give DeAndre Swift 30 touches. And they had like 200 yards. See?
They got a stable of backs they could be just pounding.
Rashad Penny, Gainwell.
With Jalen, I think they should still continue to run the rock and just force teams to play offense against them, because that defense is solid. Crazy.
So now the 49ers, they took a big loss to the Browns. McCaffrey, Debo, Trent Williams, they was banged up in this game. But this Browns team coming in there with PJ Walker, Deshaun's, still dealing with his rotator cuff injury. Mm-hmm. How do you feel about this Browns defense, though? They were clapping shit out there for real. McCaffrey got clapped by that linebacker that came from Notre Dame. They're solid defensively. I can't tell you a flaw in this defense.
Yep, all 3 levels, and they're my fantasy defense in one of my leagues.
They're in a couple waiver wires too. I was like, what? Why is the Browns here? I had to scoop them up. I had to take them.
What's that? Was in your church league?
In a couple leagues. But no, this Browns defense. This Browns defense is fucking crazy. Secondary wise,
Myles Garrett is arguably the best pass rusher, arguably the best defensive player in the league.
Yes.
When you partner that up with that secondary that's got a few years to gel. Same thing with the linebacker core. I mean, you add in a guy. Who's the other pass rusher they added?
Zadarius Smith, yeah.
Zadarius Smith.
He hasn't been too effective.
At one point, a go-to pass rusher, but now he can be the second guy, and then Myles Garrett can just wreak havoc. And now you can't focus on one guy because the whole defensive line.
Dude, they got a lot of pass rushers too. They got this dude from the Texans too. They just got a lot of dudes up front. Dalvin Tomlinson too. He's stopping the run. Mm-hmm. So you can't really do too much with this defense. And we saw, did Brock Purdy kind of get exposed in this game?
Well, I think no, because he still put him in a position to win.
Mm-hmm.
But you see what he's like. I think people who called him elite kind of jumped the gun just because of his situation was just so perfect.
Perfect. Yeah.
And when I think of elite, I think of guys that make can elevate a deficiency like
Mm-hmm.
Mahomes can when not a true number one 2 years in a row,
Yeah.
or when they had offensive line issues. It's like, can you elevate the deficiencies around you? And what you've seen that probably isn't the case with him. So I wouldn't consider him elite, but he's elite at what
He
they
does.
need.
Yeah. Yeah.
The problem
What they
is
need
if
is
they don't have
all the
those
guys.
weapons, it's
Yeah.
like, all right, they back to square one.
Mm-hmm.
So
And it was tough, because the Browns really had an answer for this 49ers offense that was clicking on all cylinders. I
mm-hmm.
mean, even the Cowboys defense, I was like, they put on a clinic against them,
Right.
banged them 42 on their head, and Brock Purdy was hitting on all cylinders. But this Browns defense, I guess, is the number one defense in the NFL. They came in there, they did their thing, they, put on work against this 49ers team, and even defensively, the 49ers on the other side, the Browns still made enough plays to win this game without Deshaun Watson. So this Browns team then having that defense and being able to make plays like this, I think Stefanski is a good coach. So what is the outlook of this Browns team? Could they be really one of those teams that could take down the Chiefs when Deshaun Watson's in that quarterback?
I tell you what, uh,
They got the defense for
they
them.
they do, and people sleep on Kansas City's defense
Oh
too.
yeah,
You know what I'm saying?
Spagnola.
The thing about say them playing Kansas City is Mahomes is never going to make the wrong play.
Yeah,
It seems like every game they finish them with the ball in their hand. It's just ridiculous
yeah,
how well they can be when it's absolutely needed. Like they'll go back and they'll punt a few times. They need three to win it. They're going to get it, or they need to run out the clock. They're not punting.
yeah.
The game is over. It's 2 minutes left, and Mahomes got the ball. It's over. So we've seen that time and time again. And I don't think as great of Cleveland's defense is, their offense is nowhere near as no, not even in the same conversation as
Mm-hmm.
Kansas City. So that Kansas City defense could wreak as much havoc just because how poor
Yeah, harp on their mistakes and
or
stuff.
the inconsistencies with the offense, or shoot, just the fact that they lost Nick Chubb and
Mm-hmm.
Deshaun Watson has yet to be elite consistently.
And if he that's what they gonna need him to be. To be honest, they're gonna need him to be how he was in Houston before the massages, before all that. That's what Deshaun Watson they're gonna need to take down the Chiefs. Don't get me wrong though. If the Browns come in there when it comes to those two meeting up in the playoffs, maybe potentially, and they play how well Tampa Bay's defense played against them in the Super Bowl. But this is a different offensive line too. They're gonna have to sack his ass every time. And still, even when they were sacking Mahomes, he was still making some good ass throws. So it's gonna come down to that defensively. If they can continue winning games for this, making up for the Browns' offense not being all the way there yet. I don't know, man. I don't know, man. Browns look fucking good right now. They're my dark horse team. We mentioned Kansas City though. Right now, is that your favorite team in the AFC right now? Is that the best team in the AFC?
I think so. For
6 weeks in?
Explained previously.
Okay.
I just think they've had so many reps in these go situations, and they've won in those situations so many times for years now. It's like it's not fair. So it's not even comparable because the Bengals are down this year.
Yeah.
Who've had some success, obviously been to a Super Bowl, and then you look at the the Bills and their success. They've never made it to a Super Bowl, but they've been in those situations. So those are the teams I can only see being close to the Chiefs. But The Bengals are having a down year.
I think they'll get that shit together.
Yeah,
at
I
the
think
end.
they will too.
They'll be in the wild card
Yeah.
for sure.
So everybody else is brand new to this deep playoff run shit.
Yeah.
Like, who would you depend on outside of Mahomes?
Shit. I like how the Jags looked last year. I thought, the Jags were coming up, but their offense has been struggling. You have Trevor Lawrence. You got a first close look at that shit.
Man, I was telling everybody I could
He's
that
the
this
MVP.
nigga was going MVP. Just because of the. First of all, I'm a big Doug
Peterson
fan.
I wanted Peterson too. He was nice.
And I'm a big Trevor Lawrence fan just because he has everything necessary to succeed. You look at
the weapons, offensive line is not
the talent he possesses. He's got it upstairs. Shoot, they got great backs as well. ETN is having a great year. It's like Evan Ingram has been healthy. I don't think he's missed a game yet.
300 yards receiving right now. So I think he's one of the top tight ends. In that
come on, man. We got to figure it out. He ain't putting numbers up, but they're getting W's.
They're winning. Yeah, they beat Buffalo.
So at the end of the day, that is all that matters. Mm-hmm. But at the same time, it's like you can't put them in that conversation just because we haven't seen enough to be impressed.
Mm-hmm. And I agree with that too. Jacksonville, they're 4-2 right now. I was a little nervous for them because they had a little slow start. Their division is getting better too. The Colts even look like they have life. Mm-hmm. The Texans, they're out there beating the Saints. They're getting some good victories. They're stacking some victories, and their defense is playing really well. So that division isn't like easy no more. It was last year. They went on their run.
True.
They started the year off really bad, and they went on their run. But now, the expectations. You have Calvin Ridley now. Right. You have all the weapons like you mentioned.
Right.
You need to do better, and I think they will pick it up, and they'll be one of the top teams because they have everything they need. I think the Buffalo win was a start defensively. They were really good. They're really good in London too. I think the Jags.
Yeah,
I don't think they've lost in London.
They'll probably move out there.
I don't think they've lost in London. But no, yeah,
that fan base.
So they're. I think it's a team to look out for right now. AFC. I like Miami. I like Miami a lot.
Why do you like Miami?
I think just offensively, it just comes so easy to them. Anytime you put 70 points on a team, you're doing something great offensively. You got a great offense. They could have one of the best offenses we've seen. A-Chain, when he gets back and he's healthy, this is a guy that's fast as fuck. He's running away from defenders. The separation is crazy. Calling him the next Chris Johnson. And Raheem Mostert's doing really good too. So I really like what this Dolphins team is doing right now. Defensively, I think they're only going to get better. Vic Fangio's in the building over there. Bradley Chubb. They got Van Ginkel, or whatever, however you pronounce his name. White dude, he's crazy. He's sacking the quarterback. He's really good. And Jalen Ramsey's he's ahead of rehab, so he's gonna be coming soon too. So this Dolphins team, I think right now is probably the scariest team in my mind in the AFC.
I'm still not putting Tua up above any of the elites in the AFC.
That's fair. I mean, the injury history, just we don't know what 17 games of Tua looks like.
And we've seen him against a good defense, and that wasn't.
They went to work on.
That wasn't the same Tua we were all hyped about, or this record-breaking offense. So.
Mm-hmm. And I do think though, this team, if Tua's there for the playoffs, I think they beat everybody. I would pick them to beat everybody, but Kansas City.
And I think Tua and Brock Purdy are very similar.
Okay. Don't be like Stephen A. Smith now.
Why do you say that?
Stephen A. Smith was like, yeah, Tua just be throwing the ball for 2 yards. Tyreek Hill take it to the crib. All the weapons he has takes it to the crib and shit. Like basically.
It's very easy if the guy's open up
all
the fucking time.
Hear me out. My only thing about that is though, why didn't Tyreek Hill be putting up these numbers with Patrick Mahomes though? Like the numbers he's putting up as a receiver in Miami are different.
Because he was also sharing the ball with
That's true.
Travis Kelsey, and you see how
There is no dominant tight end in Miami. There's
yeah, like
Waddle's decent.
he
Waddle's
played
good.
with arguably the best tight end of all time. That's why he didn't put up these numbers.
But it's just crazy. And then you got him. He's a confident guy. You got him talking about he's gonna be a porn star next too after his career. You know, it was.
I watch it.
But no, I really like the Dolphins, and I think Tua, if he can be healthy, he's gonna win MVP. Just off what I've seen alone. I think Chris McCaffrey. That's another guy that's gonna be.
I want to see them when it gets cold. If that game is going to travel and translate.
Dude, I mean, you look at this Dolphins team, bro. They took Buffalo all the way to the end with Skylar Thompson at quarterback.
And they just got their ass busted by Buffalo.
Yeah. Buffalo had something to prove in this game. But Buffalo has also lost a lot of people, with injuries. Matt Miliano, their linebacker. They lost Tre'Davious White again to another torn Achilles. So they've lost some guys. Von Miller's back. But Buffalo, I sent you that thing about, the DeMar Hamlin ambulance shit. That was crazy. Wow. Why they got his shit on the ambulance? Like, that shit was crazy. But no, I think Buffalo right now, I trust a lot more teams in the AFC than Buffalo. I like Baltimore more. I like Miami more.
I don't like neither one of them more than Buffalo.
Really?
Josh Allen has been playing really well, and outside of the stinker and what was that, Germany or
London?
London?
Yeah.
Where the stinker against the Jets too. Late.
He had like 3 interceptions against the Jets.
Yeah, but so did Jalen Hurts. So
True.
I think Josh Allen is still the second best quarterback in the AFC.
I take Joe Burrow over him
this year.
No. You're right. This year is kind of bad, but Joe Burrow had the calf injury. I'll give him a excuse for the calf injury.
Injuries are part of the game. Ain't no excuses. All we see is the motherfucking stats on fantasy.
Okay.
I can't give a fuck about no calf.
Joe Burrow was going for a Christian Kirk.
Playing, put the numbers up.
Yeah.
That's all we care about.
Right.
Obviously, W's. That's what they care about.
I mean, and that's, looking at Lamar, his numbers fantasy-wise aren't good, but they're getting dubs. And the completion percentage, the other stuff, the stats that really show the improvement and growth as a passer are been there, I think, for guys like Lamar. But yeah, I like the Ravens. I like, Miami, and I like Kansas City. Oh, and I like Cleveland too. If they can get the shit together offensively, of course. I don't know, because Buffalo, the shit I seen them do in the playoffs last year, is really sticking to me.
Man, why is that?
I mean, because you got to think, the Bengals too always start off slow. Then you get in the playoffs, they're a different team. Second best team in the AFC. Regardless of who's out there.
A 0-run game.
Yeah. Offensive line is better, though.
Offensive line is better.
The Titans are, saying Derrick Henry is available. Due to reports, it's coming out there that they're looking to possibly trade him. What are some teams you think would be interested in that guy? We talked about Baltimore. Baltimore with Derrick Henry.
Baltimore would love him.
Derrick Henry on the Baltimore Ravens.
He always giving them problems. The motherfuckers are one of the best teams against the run. He still gives them fits.
I think that move would take him to the next level. I think him in Baltimore.
No, because that would be an identity confirmer for them.
Yes,
they can pound the fucking rock.
Him, Lamar, and he wouldn't have to. He would get some breaks. He got Gus Edwards.
Yeah, they're still a pass first team. You see how well Lamar is throwing the ball, but you gotta have those drives in a game where you just gotta run the ball. And the Ravens have lost a lot of games where they've been winning, especially by double digits this year. I don't know the exact number.
It's been an issue
been leading in pretty much every game that they've lost. So, the run game is what that's going to impact the most, is they'll be able to hold leads longer and finish games.
Could you imagine Lamar and Derrick Henry in the backfield together,
Man,
shit would be crazy. And they would be able to run the clock out. And I think that's the move at the trade deadline I want to see the most. I want to see that shit happen. They could offer a pretty good deal. They could give them exactly what they want. I mean, because this is a 30-year-old running back. They're not getting a first-round pick for that.
Yeah.
But Baltimore, you
might get a fourth.
Yeah, you would give them something that would, make that deal happen, make that deal work. And if they make that shit happen, I think, they'll take Baltimore to the next level.
So why would the Titans be looking? They're just like, all right, we're clearly going in the wrong direction. We gave it. The first 6 games or so.
Yeah, Tannehill's hurt too.
Tannehill's hurt, and it's like, all right, we're chances of making the playoffs, winning the division are
not
highly unlikely.
Because the Texans are better than.
What are they? 2-4?
I think 2-3. Right in that area. Yeah, they're 2-3, right in that.
Which
area.
I don't think that's kind of early to mail it in though. 2-3.
Kinda.
So.
No, they're 2-4.
Yeah, they're 2-4. So yeah.
One game difference.
All right, that's the 2-3 and 2-4 are
two different things. Yes,
because you got to win 2 games to get 500, as opposed to winning your next game. To get
I would rather be 2-4 than 2-5. I mean 1-5.
Why?
It just would feel better. I think this Minnesota game definitely hurt.
Yeah, that was. I was already numb.
Yeah.
But that was kind of like when I.
But the command.
So you've given up. OD'd.
You've given up. You're done.
Yeah, I'm done.
Shit. What if Bajan start hooping though, and Justin Fields
comes back? I need him to start hooping. Ain't no what if. I got Cole Kmet.
I don't think Cole Kmet's gonna do shit next time.
Damn, you fleeced.
If I'm being honest, I didn't trade you Cole Kmet, but I'll take him though off your hands for when Justin Fields come back. Because Eberflus hasn't really been saying too much about Fields when he's going to come back. He said his, thumb swelling went down. So it's just a matter of him being able to grip the ball and stuff. So I think he should be good by next week. I think. Okay. But some people are saying, with Eberflus, he doesn't be telling us with injuries and shit. They're expecting the worst. They're going to be like, yeah, he's out for the rest of the season. But I know you're ready for Caleb for emperor, Caleb for president, Mr. Caleb Williams, number one fan.
Caleb Patron.
I don't know though. But I've been seeing some people be like, what does Justin Fields and Caleb Williams do differently? They're both 2 athletic quarterbacks. Obviously, Caleb Williams has more of a pocket presence. Obviously, but I'm still going to be on board with Fields.
And why is that?
Because I say this every time we have this conversation about this. I still think it's, we know what we have in Fields. I think offensive line definitely needs to be better. We don't have a center that can snap the ball. All of our centers can't snap. I want to see Doug Kramer get a shot. And Cody Whitehair is cooked pretty much. He's oven baked. He's done. He's well done. But I just don't understand that part. We don't have a center. If we sure up things defensively, we're getting better. So Fields is I don't want to start over. I don't think we need to start over. I think we need to get the trenches built up a little more. We get a new coaching staff. We get the coach from the Lions. And I think we're there. And we get the offensive lineman from Penn State, the tackle. Let Braxton Jones be a swing tackle. Then get Marvin Harrison Jr. I think we're set.
I'm going to need you to wake the fuck up.
He's done. He's a Bears fan that's already jumped off the ledge. He's already done
No, it's just being realistic. Like, I've seen enough of Justin Fields. We've given no talent. We've for 6 games in now.
Yeah.
And we're 1-5.
But, I'm still going to be like, a lot of those losses are on the coaches.
That's not what I'm trying to hear.
I just think, because I know it's going to happen. We move on from Fields. We send him to Atlanta or somewhere else. And this guy's going to be a fucking superstar.
I hope he is.
With the right coach.
We've all but ruined him at this point. I don't think.
That's what I'm saying.
Who would be confident? going into next year with him at quarterback?
I think Atlanta would. I think that's the perfect spot for him. Arthur Smith,
and you saw Atlanta.
Yeah, you saw what Arthur Smith did with Marcus Mariota.
Look at what he's doing with Ritter.
Yeah, Ritter's ass.
They're still got more wins than losses, right?
That's what I'm saying. That run game is so fucking dominant. Bijan and Justin Fields in the backfield together. That shit would be nasty.
Make that call, and obviously that's where Mike Vick got drafted. So I'm sure would love to kind of see some of that.
And I think that offensive mind coach, like I said, Marcus Mariota had some of his best years in Tennessee when he had Arthur Smith as his OC. So I think just Arthur Smith being that young coach.
Smith is a good ass coach.
I think, they would be able to scheme something out. Or him with the Colts, though. Like, with if Anthony Richardson isn't there, Shane Steichen.
Why would he go to the Colts?
No, I'm just saying, like, an offensive mind like that would be able to get the most out of him.
Oh, yeah. I'm not saying that's what I wanted us to hire.
Or even Mike McDaniel, too. Like, these offensive mind coaches are everywhere. And if Justin Fields just would have went to the right situation, another situation, we wouldn't be seeing him struggle like he is. I think he would be more confident. The Bears kind of ruined him. So
we got a coach from the CFL.
Mark Trestman? Hey, Mark Trestman was cold offensively, though. He was a good offensive coach.
We got a coach from the CFL, bro.
That offense, that offense was pretty good. This was when we had Martellus Bennett, Matt Forte, Jay Cutler. Offensively, we were good. Just defensively, we were ass.
Yeah.
So you can't have the best of both worlds.
Right. And that was an era of the NFL where defense still won championships.
Yeah, this was before, all these offensive mind coaches and stuff were around. Or Kyle Shanahan too, be able to get some work out of Fields too.
For sure.
I mean, we talked about it if Fields would have went to fucking the 49ers with all their weapons, shit, it would have got a chip by now, I think.
I mean, you got to be an accurate distributor of the ball. So
yeah,
I think that's what they like so much about Brock Purdy is he's getting the guy's the ball in ways that they can make plays.
Yeah.
So
he's not going to make the wrong play, right?
Right.
But if there's, if he doesn't have those guys around him, McCaffrey and Debo, then we saw what it looked like. Mm-hmm. But no, yeah. So it's going to be tough. What do you expect from Bajan, though? You think we can see some from him? Like, what if he just balls out against Raiders?
I hope he does. OJ, I think he might. Said he got a lot of years of experience. So that is just as important. We're starting to see like quarterbacks who come out of college, like Justin Fields, for example.
Yeah.
Not a whole lot of. He just had 2 years at Ohio State, right?
Yeah, because in Georgia he didn't play.
Not a whole lot of reps playing quarterback, reading defenses, making the right read, going through critical situations, down and distance.
Yeah,
all that shit. You got 2 years of it.
It's not Trey Lance bad, but So
even at Ohio State, a lot of guys have brought this up, but they're just so much better than 95% of the teams they play. It's like you could be late with the ball. You don't have to make the right
Look at Bama, too.
I mean, you got first, Pro Bowl receivers.
Olave, Garrett Wilson, Marvin Harrison.
You don't have just first-round receivers. You got Pro Bowl receivers in the NFL.
Yeah, it's fucking crazy. Jameson Williams, too, from Detroit. Haven't seen too much of him, but he was fucking good.
Yeah.
Down there.
He's on my bench. I'm hoping he performs.
He had a touchdown.
I might have to start him this week, I think.
Yeah.
So I don't have a receiver.
And Jigba, too. Hopefully he'll pick it up, but it's not. He's had a slow start. I know he had to cut his ass.
Yeah.
but hopefully, Bajan does well. Hopefully Fields can come back, too. Hopefully the season isn't over yet. It looks pretty much over. You can see, Jaden's giving up. He's done. But yeah, hopefully things get better. And if they don't, we'll have more content. We'll have some stuff to talk about. We'll have content either way, but we're still going to be giving you both sides, whether it's good, whether it's bad. We're going to be consistent with getting you content, getting you entertainment, the podcasting, how you like it. We'll get it for you. But thank you guys for watching. Thank you guys for listening. And as always, peace. Welcome back to another video for 6-Man Blitz. In today's video, I'm going to be breaking down my Week 5 fantasy biggest heroes and my Week 5 fantasy biggest losers. Got to start off with the biggest fantasy heroes this week. If you're a Chicago Bears fan, DJ Moore did his fucking thing. And if you're really a Bears fan,
You had him, you had Justin Fields, you had Khalil Herbert, you had all the Bears in your lineup this week.